Hey guys, Jason Kills 32 here, coming to you with another board game review. Today we're going to be talking about Battlestar Galactica board game. It's a game by Fantasy Flight, and this is a very fun game. I've been waiting for a while to actually do a proper review on this, and then I just never got around to it. It doesn't hit the table as much as I would like it to, but when it does, I always enjoy it. Box says it's like 2 to 3 hours to play, maybe 4, depending on how your situations go. Sometimes you can get in a standoff situation. It's for 3 to 6 players. Best probably with 4 to 5, I would say. And it says it's 14 and up. I don't see anything in this game to where if your kids can pick up the game mechanics to this game, I would say start them young. And that's with a lot of board games. If you can get your kids to pick up the different mechanics and things in this game and to where they can understand and play it properly, that's a good thing. It encourages thinking skills and problem solving. So I always, if you can get your kids involved in your hobby, it's a good thing. And then you can watch the show with them, and then they can enjoy what is Battlestar Galactica, which, that might not necessarily be for kids, but it's a really cool show, and, I think more families should watch it. I'm not going to go over too much on I'll go through how the game is basically played. I'm not going to go through a complete overview. I'm going to just talk more about the mechanics of this game, what I enjoy about this game. Just things of that nature. I enjoy the components of this game. It's not too flashy, as in the miniatures and things. When the ships, they're kind of nice. I enjoy those. But that's pretty much it on miniatures. You get your typical Fantasy Flight paper tokens that go across to the different sections of the board to make movement across the ships and go through different ships to do actions. And then even when the big Cylon Raiders, not the Raiders, but the mothership, I can't remember right now. Let's see. The base stars, yeah, Cylon base ship. They're made out of paper tokens, but it's fine. Everything works with the game really well. All the components work with the mechanics of the game, and to me, it doesn't have to be. Everything doesn't have to have a plastic miniature or anything. If the components work with the mechanics of the game really well, you still get that basic idea going through the game. I think it works because we talked about pricing and stuff when they create these games, so they try to fit as much into this as they can to make sure you get your values worth, but in the end result they want to make sure you have a good gaming experience, and I think they've done that with this product, as Fantasy Flight does with a lot of products. I'm not for sure now, but I don't know how many of my reviews have actually been Fantasy Flight products, but it's a multitude of them. I own quite a bit of their collection. I enjoy the different characters that you get to play in this game. I have not yet bought an expansion for this game, but that is probably my next step, because I'm going to kind of go through the different expansions and go through the different parts of the ships, and then go through Pegasus and all that, and then do the final chapter that they released not too long ago. And I think it's cool how in later expansions, people's roles change, so then and it changes the gameplay up a lot. But in the base game, you get all the flavor of the series. I mean, it definitely feels like season 1. It definitely feels like season 1 and season 2, but you get all the flavor of the game. It's enjoyable. It gets real intense, especially when because after that first round, there is still a possibility that everybody is working together, and even if they are sidelined from the get-go, until you get to that second point to where somebody has to almost reveal that they're a sideline, or there's a sideline in the group. That's when things get a little weary, because a lot of times at the beginning of the games, even if you get a sideline card, you'll continue to work with the group because you want to stay on the ship to slow down progress of what they're trying to do as long as possible. Because if they suspect that you're a sideline, you can send them to the brig. But I mean that's a risky thing, because I've sent personally friends that were not sidelines to the brig just because I thought they were acting shady, and that's how much this game messes with you. And games like this are fun because with my group, everybody kind of plays their own role, but with my group, even cooperative games, half the time we don't trust each other. I mean, that's what my groups come to. But it's it comes end result from games like this being played amongst us all the time, because we realize how good of a group of liars we have amongst us. And even in cooperative games, you still feel like somebody has something up their sleeve to try to get the upper hand in the game. So it's with this, it can get real dirty, and it's enjoyable. Playing as a human, really blows, because you're constantly. I mean, it's fun. It's really fun, but it really blows because you're constantly like trying to figure out who's trying to screw you over. Number one, how am I going to deal with everything that's attacking this ship? If any of my resource dials go all the way down, you lose the game. I mean, there's so many ways to lose this game. It's stupid, and there's only one way really to win, or per whatever your objective card is, but most of the time is to get a certain amount of jumps and complete certain missions. So you're always dealing with that. You're trying to strategize, what cards am I going to play. I hope I get lucky when I'm dealing with combat to where we can put enough raiders out there and we don't have to reset the board to where before the jump track, to where I can keep the ship from getting hit up so we can jump out of there in safety. But I don't want to lose too many raiders out there. So I mean, there's plenty of different scenarios and things that you go through in the game when you're playing it. It comes for a very enjoyable, immersive gaming experience. I'm a big fan of the show. I watched the show all through its run on Sci-Fi, not the SYFY, the SCI-FI network. I don't understand why they changed their name over, but I think all old, titles that come from that generation, that's the type of sci-fi they should be labeled, because it's changed a lot. This is one of my all-time favorite sci-fi television shows. Going through Battlestar, the reimagined series, it was always a treat, to gather around with friends on Friday night and then watch I can't remember if Doctor Who came on first or second, but you know, sit down and we watch Doctor Who and Battlestar together every week, and we made an event out of it through the show, and it was always a good week, even on the bad episodes, you know, because we would get to work like the next Monday, and we all like get around and talk about like, dude, you know, did you see Battlestar this weekend? You know, so it was always an event, and with the show being over and the show being on, this is a great way to live the experience. This is almost even better than going on like Netflix and rewatching the show, because you can get all the feeling from the show in this game, and you get it in 6 hours instead of watching 45 hours of the show. So I mean, it's, you know, you get it, you get every aspect of it in this game. You know, you get everybody hating Gaius Baltar, and I love him, you know, because he always, this is how it works out for me. When you're Gaius Baltar, when everybody gets one card, which is like a, you know, 50-50 chance they're a Cylon or not, you get 2 cards. So right off the bat, everybody assumes you're a Cylon. And I hardly have yet to actually be the Cylon while playing this Gaius Baltar, which is improbable as it sounds, always seems to happen. You know, so everybody's trying to like screw me over and send me to the brig, and I know it's because of that, but it's also because I know nobody wants to play as Laura Rosalind, and then I will be able to be president every single time. So that's another reason I like to play Gaius Baltar, because I like to have some influence over the board. I mean, and that can change in the game, because you can lose the presidency, and you know, there's so many different aspects of that can happen. If you start out the game as you're a Cylon and you play one of those characters that has the role of a president or an admiral, you know, you can actually play right, you know, play as a Cylon and be kind of secretive about it, and like acquire both positions, and then be able to control everything with the, you know, having the major roles there. So you can really sink the house down really big if you really make these ploys. But everybody always sees me trying to be president, and they take that from me wanting to be that I'm a Cylon, and I'm not. I just want some control over the game and kind of how it happens, because I would like to win. I'm stuck playing the humans. I would like to win, but it's very hard. But it's fun, and it's a good time. We always kick up the BSG soundtracks while we're going through there, and you know, we just have a blast with it, and I really do enjoy it. You know, the trader mechanic of the game is good. All the cards and everything work, but I mean, that's the bright part of the game, is the aspect of like halfway through this game, it's going to completely change on the feeling and the tone and the setting. It's no more just worried about all the stuff around the board. Now we know somebody said we're there on the base ship trying to burn our resources as fast as possible. And it kind of makes you feel more suspense on what's going to happen if we're going to make it out. We've dragged out some games of these way longer than they should have. I don't know if that's common with other board game groups, but we tend to do that with quite a few games. I don't know if that's because we want to get it right the first, you know, time, and then every single time we play like that. But you know, we really tend to drag these on, but they're still fun. But I think it's because when the humans are taking their turn, they're really trying to take advantage of that. And this is with any of the games. Anytime that somebody in the group's trying to take a turn, they're really trying to maximize their potential. But this has a, you know, a nice little It's got a good system. Everything's set up where it needs to be. The art's wonderful. The cover of it looks amazing. You got the Galactica right there and the Raiders all around it. They look dope. Everything's really, really good. So I'm going to just take a brief look at components. Then I'm going to come and wrap this up, and that should be the end for this week. When I come back from taking a break, we will be reviewing Power Grid. Let's see here. We do a proper review for Legend of Drizzt. I did a really bad Castle Ravenloft review when I first started doing this. I'm gonna do a good one. A Drizzt. There's no Descent, but it's still some fun, and you can twist the rules. I need to do a proper one of Game of Thrones. And let's see, is that it for right now? Yeah, I think so for right now. What's over there? Oh, I'm going to actually do a review of some role-playing systems as well. I don't know if y'all will be interested in that or not, but I'm going to talk about each different role-playing system and what I think of it and the positives and negatives of each one from playing. We'll go over some of the books and different things like that, and have sit-down discussions about the books and what I think. But that's pretty much that. We're going to do a quick component run, and that's we'll end this up real quick. Alright, thanks guys. Components. Alright guys, we're just going to do kind of a quick unboxing of it so you can see what you get on the inside of the box and look at the board real quick. We won't go over a lot of gameplay because there's some other reviews out there that have really good overviews on how this game's played. Then a lot of them probably do a better job than I do. I just want to give you a brief example of what you get in the box, and just an idea for the gameplay just a little bit. It's the front side of the box. There's the back. Let's see here. I'll get it right for you so you can see it. As always, you get your rule book. Gives you all the necessary information. Remember the rant I said the other day about bags and board games? This is it. This is the game board in a bag. I mean, listen to that. That's just like opening a comic right there. It's a good feel. You feel like it's fresh and everything's nice and pristine. You have the board there. You have your spots where you put your cards at on the bottom. Then you have your resources up top. You got fuel, food, morale, and population. This is the boarding party. Anytime that this place fills completely up with Cylons on board of the Galactica, you lose. This is your jump preparation track. And this is the Cylon locations. This is oh my god, I can't even think right now. This is Admiral 1, something 1. I can't remember. Boom. No, sorry. And this is Battlestar. You got your different sections on the Battlestar. You got the brig, the sick bay, armory, research lab, hangar deck, admiral's quarters,
and all the basic things that come in Battlestar. Imperial 1, I think. You got your Destiny deck, your Damage Vipers, and your Viper and Raptor reserves. You got your different characters. Oh, Tom Lake, Laura, Hilo, Adama, there's Saul, and Gaius. And when I said miniatures, don't get too excited, but they fulfill their purpose. There you go. You got your little Cylon Raiders. Oh, Vipers. And then you got your Raptors. So, I mean, they serve their purpose on the board. You have your basic stands and tokens and other tokens. These are the base stars. They move around the ship. And then normally you draw a card and it'll tell you how to set up this around there. And if you actually get anybody to be out and help you or not. You know, and that's one thing about this game that could be bad, is you can spend a lot of time out here on the hangar deck trying to get ships and stuff out just in case you get attacked. And then you have to reset the board after you spent all those turns trying to do that. So it can sometimes waste your time a lot. Go through just some of the different decks of the cards, and then we'll be done with this. There we go. It's the Admiral card. Tells you if you're the Admiral or not. The President card, and they tell you your special abilities. And here are the cards. You got this one, that you are not a Cylon. Look at Gaius. He's like, why do you think I'm a Cylon? You know. And then you have a little outdated, but there's the sympathizer. The Sharon, I want to shoot you, Admiral Cylon card. You know, the most underrated Cylon ever. He was there from the beginning. The I'm creepy and I lock away my girlfriends in houses and let them kill me over and over Cylon. And then you have different encounters and actions in the game. Let me see if I can pull some of the other cards that give you your missions. See, they're in here. There we go. See, they got these ones right here. These are the cards that the Cylons can play. They all have bad things on them. You get your presidential influence cards, and I can't find the other one I'm looking for right now, but you get the idea of how it's played. Oh, there they are. Basically, in each expansion you get one of these, and this one tells you the sleeper agent phase and then what it takes to win the game. Oh crud, sorry. And then so through that you just go through there, and then you just try to jump 8 times to reach the planet Cobalt. Look how beautiful it is on Cobalt. Nice place to live. And that is the overview for Battlestar Galactica. So what I'll do now is I'll clean up some of this mess, and then I'll go ahead and do my final thoughts on the game, my recommendations for the type of people to play it, you know, because that's the cool thing about this. You may not like every game, but some of these games you will like, some of these games you won't. But you'll be able to find something that you enjoy, that suits your needs and your taste, and that you can gain a lot of just good times out of. Alright, and I'll be back in a minute.
Alright, so what do I think about Battlestar? I feel like this game was very easy to bring to the table with already for the fact that most people in my gaming group enjoy this series. It was one of probably, I don't know what else was first. But it was a good, you know, because for a long time we played a lot of just fantasy stuff. This was one of the first really big sci-fi board games that really got us started, and so I have a lot of tribute to that. And now we have tons of other good ones as well, you know. But this always has a very special place in my heart. I enjoy the series. I enjoy the gameplay, and everything just works together for me. Even in the moments where the game can be really tedious and stressful and you're like, I feel like I've done this 15 times already, you know, and that's more just frustration, and it's because you're getting screwed over by another player. I don't blame that on the game. I blame that on the Cylons. It was dirty toasters. But it's for newer players. I don't know. I'm not gonna say I wouldn't recommend it for brand new players to the gaming genre. But if it's something that, you know, you can get them playing a couple other maybe starter games or something like that, this is a great step up to move them to bigger Ameritrash games. I mean, I almost feel like the heaviest Euro is easier to explain in a lot of ways than a lot of the Ameritrash games, just because they're, even with the heaviest Euro, everything's kind of laid out. It's more straightforward how it works, where, I don't know, some people might not like that comment, but just with Euros, a lot of everything always makes pretty much, for the most part, everything makes good sense. With these, I feel myself going back to the rule book more with games like this. Even after I played them for a few times, and, you know, it's been a while, we haven't played it, I would have to go to the rule book much more times with a game like this than I would with Power Grid or something. You know, and the rule book's much bigger than this for Power Grid. Power Grid's like 9-10 pages. This rule book's over 20-25 pages. So, I mean, you know, there's a lot more to it with the heavier thematic Ameritrash games. They're a lot more involved, but I think it's to give you that core feeling that they're trying to get, and to run the theme across and apply it directly to the game really well. I think that works out, and you kind of have to build the mechanics around the theme, you know, in a lot of ways. Whereas Euro games, anything can be applied to a Euro game, like anything, and they can just change it out, and the game can still work the same way every single time, you know. Just things like mechanics like worker placement and all that, they're common. With this, I think it's a little different. But it's something that you definitely, if they were a fan of the show and they were willing to sit down and learn a game that takes quite possibly 3 to 4 hours to play, well, then let them go for it, you know. Then maybe after they play that, you know, you bring out Talisman or Relic, Eldritch Horror, you know, Firefly. I mean, anything. You know, just the possibilities are endless. So that's pretty much how I feel. Everything works together in this game really well. Art's done really well. A lot of people complain about the board. I think the board works really well. I like the art. It doesn't have to be too flashy for me. I don't want, because there's so much that goes on this board with the cards on the board. You have to keep track of your food, the jump track, and then the Cylon track and everything. There's so much to keep up with. The background doesn't need to be too flashy to distract you from all that. It works very well. And you know, you feel like you're at a battle station in the command in the center, you know, with Adama, and then we're all standing around the table deciding what to do. And one of us is a Cylon. That's a good way to think about it on how it feels. So, you know, I would, you know, suggest this game to pretty much anyone. You know, if you like sci-fi in any way, if you like, you know, even if you've never seen the series, a lot of the reviewers on YouTube, I've seen this in their videos, say they've never seen this series, and they still enjoyed the game. Which everybody should watch BSG. It's good programming, good lore, and that speaks through in this game. So I'm gonna quit my BSG worship party for now until the next time we all play together. But that was another board game review. I hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, it may be a little while before I get another one out, but that's why I did a few of them back to back real quick, so we can go ahead and I can start knocking them down. There's a couple other things that I want to get played and get reviewed. And like I said, also I'll probably start working on some role play book reviews as well. I don't know how many role players are out there on YouTube anymore, but yep, you gotta be out there. Alright guys, thank you very much. If you like the video, subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments, and you know, any questions, anything, just get up with me somehow. It's easy to find me. Night guys.